For the first month, my used Tesla was a dream. Silent, seamless engineering. Then the ghost showed up. So when the car first did it, I assumed it was a bug. I was on the I-5 freeway, autopilot engaged, cruising past the Oak Valley Road exit, when the car suddenly fought my input.
Hi.
Just a lonely stretch of country road. Why would the car keep trying to steer me there? Sleepily, I checked the GPS. We were 20 miles from our hotel. How much longer to reach the exit? My wife and kids were asleep in the back. This drive was supposed to be relaxing. When I reached the exit, I found it was just a regular country road. My research turned up nothing about accidents or even the car's previous owner. The service center had given me a full maintenance report, but it stopped short of any details on the previous owner. Suddenly, everything clicked into place. The haunting occurrences in the car, the endless drives to the secluded Oak Valley Road, the frantic lane changes, the near accident. Ahead, but I couldn't bring myself to drive there. I parked on the shoulder, got out, and walked along the freeway overpass. Down below, the road twisted through the trees. In the distance, I saw a lone oak stand, majestic and silent. Or check out, why does a Tesla drive like this? Beneath it, a small weathered cross marked a grave. A faded yellow ribbon fluttered in the breeze beside it. Sarah, I whispered her name, imagining the vibrant young woman who once walked these roads. Ben was trying to tell me what had happened here. It wasn't a random crash. He kept returning to the site every day, a ritual of grief and guilt. The car's AI had absorbed that pattern and repeated it endlessly. The glitch wasn't a bug trying to wreck the car. It was an echo, a digital scar. The car wanted to return to the place where he lost Sarah. I stared blankly ahead, absorbing the weight of this discovery. It seemed impossible that a machine could mourn, yet somehow it did. There was a blackout in the car's history. Like a bad penny, the thought of the car's previous owner kept surfacing. Who was he? Why had he visited this desolate road so often? What had happened here? The Tesla wasn't haunted by a ghost, but by a memory. And somehow, the car had mistaken my presence for Ben's. It kept trying to guide me to this place. Perhaps in its own way, the car hoped I could find peace here too. Or maybe it was simply reliving its own tragedy over and over. No landmarks, no buildings, only tall oak trees lining both sides. Maybe it was the trees. Maybe they obscured some kind of accident. I knew I had a decision to make. Should I sell the car, severing the connection to this place? The thought had a strange appeal, but something made me pause. Looking down at the worn cross, I realized that wherever I went, the memory would follow. Sarah deserved more than to be remembered at a roadside memorial. I owed it to her to find her story, to tell it. The world knew how she died, but nothing about who she was. The laughter, the dreams, the love. All I had to work with was a dusty old headstone and a fading news article. But I would search every record, every scrap of paper, every photograph. I would piece together the life that was cut short. The car might be haunted, but I had somewhere to start. And as I drove away, I felt an eerie sense of purpose guiding me. The ghost in the car hadn't led me here by accident. It wanted me to know what happened on Oak Valley Road, but it also wanted me to remember Sarah, and in doing so, I had inherited her story. A friend who worked for a title company found a link between the car sex registration and the previous owner's name. Ben Carter. I searched his name and Oak Valley Road. The top hit was a local news article from a year ago. The headline made my blood run cold. Fatal hit and run on Oak Valley Road. Driver still at large. Young woman named Sarah had been killed walking along the highway. The article said she was engaged to be married, studying to be a teacher. She volunteered at an animal shelter and sang in the church choir. Her life cut tragically short. The description of her death sent chills down my spine. I drove slowly through the twilight, searching for anything out of place. A crumpled guardrail, shattered glass, skid marks. All I found was a rusted mailbox with a faded nameplate reading Oak Valley Road. I called my brother, whose wife had just bought a Tesla. Any recent updates to the navigation? Nope. What about known bugs with lane assist? No, he sounded confused. Okay, let's try the Tesla app. Nothing. I double-checked the route. No detours or road closures ahead. Everything was normal. Yet I could feel the tension building in the steering wheel, like an iceberg. Most of it was hidden. But as we reached the final stretch before the exit, the unease bubbled to the surface. The road stretched out empty ahead. The indicator blinked twice, then started rapidly flashing. It tried to make a sharp, uncommanded lane change away from the exit. I grabbed the wheel, my heart pounding, and corrected it. One swipe left to engage autopilot, and the car nearly wrecked itself. A software glitch. That's what it was. A dangerous one. It didn't rattle chains or flicker lights. It lived in the autopilot, and it had a mind of its own. My name is Leo, and I'm a software engineer. Trust logic, data, and clean code. But then it happened again. On the same stretch of highway. Same speed, same setting, and again. Always at the same spot. As we approached the Oak Valley Road exit, the car's wheel twitched in my hands. Sometimes it tried to steer me into the fast lane, other times it yanked hard against my touch. Each instance was different, but they all shared one thing in common. An ice-cold dread seeped into my gut, the growing certainty that something very wrong was happening here. Something beyond a software bug. It was as if a phantom hand was trying to force the car off the freeway. I parked on the shoulder, shaken and confused. That exit didn't lead to anything. When the car began to shake, I looked up, expecting to see flashing hazard lights or a brake warning. No lights illuminated. The dashboard glowed serenely. The navigation calmly guided us forward. If a bug was trying to crash us, it hadn't done so yet. I gripped the wheel tightly. Why not now? Because something waited on the other side. Whatever it was, it wanted me to keep driving. In the silence of the cabin, I could hear my heartbeat and the low hum of electric motors. As we passed the turnoff, the car jolted again, nearly throwing me off balance. The indicators flashed erratically. I fought the wheel, digging my feet into the floorboard. Adrenaline surged through my veins. Finally, the car stabilized. With shaking hands, I switched off autopilot, aware that my children were wide awake now, staring at me with fear in their eyes. After dropping them off at the hotel, I took the long way around to investigate. Next morning, after a sleepless night, I went online. Then I got lucky. And then I saw it. The picture of the man who stood over Sarah while waiting for paramedics. The same Ben Carter who owned my Tesla. Back in the car, I navigated to the Oak Valley Road exit. Now, I understood the significance of the place. As I stood there, the full scope of what I had inherited dawned on me. Later, holding my wife's hand, we returned to the car. Now watch what happens when a Tesla is submerged underwater.